Success can be found down many roads, and often on the one we least suspect. For Maggie Cook, her road was paved with a popular condiment.
My name is Magdalena de la Cruz Garcia. I am the founder of Magie Salsa, LLC.
Maggie Cook's company was the first to offer fresh, authentic style salsa at your local grocer.
At the time that I created it, nobody really believed the fresh concept of salsa. That's why it became so popular.
But her journey to becoming a household name would be a long and difficult one that began at an orphanage in a very secluded part of Mexico.
I grew up in so much poverty, and it was so rough. The process of getting here was that I actually got recruited by the Mexican national team in Mexico City.
Basketball seemed like Maggie's way out, but just months before joining the team, she broke her collarbone.
I went and saw my father, and he, being a doctor, told me that, you know, your dreams are over. That was probably the worst thing that I ever heard because I really wanted to get out of there. The fact that I broke my collarbone was actually the biggest blessing. And him telling me that my dreams were over just gave me more fire to think that there was something better out there. 4 months later, when that incident happened, my parents took a bus with all my 68 siblings and traveled to the U.S.
While at a park, Maggie and her brothers began an impromptu game of basketball that would change her life forever.
And there happened to be the coach of the University of Charleston. There was a basketball court, and I started to play with my brothers. And she saw me play, and she went and found my dad and told him I want her to come play for me on a scholarship, and that's how I came here. When I was in college, what happened is I became homeless, and I remember I would go into the woods, some woodsy areas, because I didn't want people to see me in the street. So I started staying in the wooden areas, and I remember I would survive on ramen noodles.
With nothing left to lose, Maggie decided to pursue a business her friends had been encouraging her to start for years.
Well, I used to make salsa for friends and family, and they all used to tell me that you should sell it. And I was like, you're nuts, you know, because it took so much time and so much money to make 1 gallon of salsa, and I didn't even make money on it. But they used to ask for it so much that I started making it, and I actually entered a salsa competition for the state of West Virginia. And I won by unanimous vote, and that was my aha moment, and that's when I started the business.
Backed by a small investor, Maggie jumped in with both feet, learning the ins and the outs of business along the way.
Actually, not knowing things helped me because I wasn't following anybody else's blueprint. So I actually had to look for everything for myself. But yes, I had to do everything from scratch. I had to do my labels, my website, my design, everything. I got my truck driver's license. I mean, I did everything myself. At that time, we had to run the business 24 hours. I literally worked through the day, slept in the plant all night in case there was problems, and I was basically living in the manufacturing plant. So 24 hours a day and over 50 people at times. Basically, it grew into a multi-million-dollar business from basically nothing. And actually, in 2015, it was sold at Campbell Soup.
With the company gone, Maggie spends her days giving back to other children like herself at the very orphanage where she grew up.
I never thought that I would get to the point where I ended up with my company. I mean, this girl that grew up in an orphanage in Mexico, extremely in poverty situations. I never thought that I would be where I am, but I believe strongly that it's the dreams and the willingness of somebody to really come out of there that gets you places that you never dreamed of. My ultimate goal was to come out of there and make a difference and inspire myself, but also inspire others, especially the kids that were there in suffering. So my ultimate purpose in life, now that the company sold to Campbell Soup, is that I want to be the source of inspiration that touches everybody else's life. If I can be that for them, it's my ultimate passion and my ultimate fulfillment.